All right. What's up, everybody? My people, Manhattan, the Bronx, Queens, West Staten Island, my homeboro, Brooklyn. Back in another video. We're getting closer and closer to Super Bowl Sunday. I see a lot of previews for Super Bowl commercials already on TV and on ads on YouTube. So you want Michael B. Jordan, Peyton Manning, and Eli Manning. So we're getting closer that time of year. This is going to be another entry to the greatest team ever series. This is going to be on the 2013 Seattle Seahawks. Okay, probably the last, other than the 2015 Broncos, probably the last great defense in the NFL in the last 10 years. The two best defense in the NFL in the last 10 years. Personally, I take the 2015 Broncos just because, and I grant it now, the Seahawks whooped the Broncos' ass in Super Bowl 48. I get all that, but the Broncos' defense in 2015 was more all around. They had a great front four. Well, they played a 3-4, so great D linemen, great linebackers, and a great secondary, the no-fly zone. The 2013 Seahawks defense is really known for more for the LOB than the whole unit, defensive unit. I mean, they had Michael Bennett and Cliff Averill, defensive ends. They had KJ Wright and Bruce Irvin and Bobby Wagner and what's the dude named Malcolm Smith, the Super Bowl MVP. But overall, I give it to the 2015 Broncos just because they're more stacked as a unit. Well, let's get into this. As you see, they were ranked number 8 in the league in points for, 17 in yards gained, number 1 in points allowed, number 1 in yards allowed, number 1 in turnovers, of course, with Richard Sherman, who to me should have got Defensive Player of the Year. Sherman should have been the Defensive Player of the Year in 2013. 8 interceptions, a true shutdown corner, shit talking all year long. Richard Sherman at his height, man, I swear. Of course, we all know the famous moment where he went on First Take and told Skip Bayless, "I'm better than you at life." And Skip Bayless said, basically Skip said the reason Sherman can talk a good gang of shit because he has all those guys backing him, Earl, Byron Maxwell, and Cam, Bam Bam Cam, which I understand, but But Sherman at his height, man, this dude, I love this dude, man. I got a Sherman jersey, even though I'm a Giants fan, and unfortunately the Seahawks shut out my Giants that year, as you guys are about to see. They shut out my Giants, but I still love Sherman, man. But look at this. Beat the Panthers 12-7, blew out the Niners 29-3, blew out the Jags 45-17. Beat up the Rams 14-9. Shut out my Giants, unfortunately, in the Meadowlands 23-0. Blew out the Saints 34-7. And people forget some of these teams, like the 49ers were a great team. Kaepernick, they just got back from the Super Bowl. They had Frank the Tank Gore from the U, future Hall of Famer. Had Kaepernick, had Torrey Smith, who was on the Baltimore Ravens the year before. They had Anquan Bolden, who was on the Ravens the year before. Excuse me, Torrey Smith wasn't on the 49ers in 2013. I'm sorry. He was on the 49ers in 2015, not 13. But they did have Anquan Bolden. They had Vernon Davis. They were a good team. Your team in Seattle was better. Look, they dominated teams throughout the regular season. Of course, they took a couple losses, but that's going to happen. Okay, and that team's going to be undefeated, like the 72 Dolphins. But yeah, man, this defense, man, they were the surprise of the NFL, and my fool ass picked the Broncos. If I had to take that, if I had one Super Bowl pick back, other than the Seahawks Patriots Super Bowl, which I'm gonna do a video on, I would take that Super Bowl pick back. Because Sherm, Maxwell, Bam Bam Cam, and Earl Thomas, they just dogged them. Of course, Malcolm Smith, he had the pick 6, which made him the Super Bowl MVP. In my opinion, Cam should have got it because I believe Cam had 2 interceptions and he was cracking down on dudes. He should have got the MVP, in my view. But anyway, we all know in the playoffs they played the Saints, blew them out, and then they played the 49ers in the NFC Championship game, which is one of the best playoff games I've ever seen live. Like the best playoff game I've seen live, I already said it. It was the 2012 AFC Divisional Round, the Mile High Miracle, the Ravens and Broncos. But the 2013 NFC Championship game is probably right behind it. Like those teams were, like the 49ers were, I won't say on the Seahawks level, but they were just like a not below, like a little not below them. Okay, like they were a good team. Of course, I think that year they were 12-4 if I remember correctly. Cap was still a legitimate quarterback. Jim Harbaugh, like I said, they were a good team. Here they are celebrating Seattle, the 12th man, the loudest fans in the NFL. Here's Russell Wilson there with Terry Bradshaw. And the offense, and the thing with the 2013 Seahawks, their team, for an all-time great defense, they had a pretty legit offense. They probably had the best offense of any, other than the Steel Curtain. They probably had the best offense of any of those teams. Better offense than the 2000 Ravens, the 02 Bucks, the 85 Bears, the Lawrence Taylor era Giants. They probably had the best offense. They had Russell Wilson. They had Marshawn Lynch. They had, what's the dude named Golden Tate? I think Doug Baldwin was still on the team. Like, they were legit on offense. But, of course, Russell Wilson at that time was a game manager, and everything ran through beast mode, literally. And one day, Marshawn Lynch will be in the Hall of Fame. He won't be a first ballot, but he will be in the Hall of Fame one day. I promise you that. But anyway, they played for it. They made a gutsy call going for it on 4th down. They were going to kick a field goal, so they decided to go for it. Smart decision. Made the game 23-17. And, of course, we all know the infamous moment. Sherm, the immaculate deflection, some people call it, or the tip. Lobbed it to Crabtree in the end zone. Sherman tipped it and went to the hands of Malcolm Smith, and game was over. See, I was going to the Super Bowl for the first time since 2005. You see Michael Crabtree, Sherm reaching out for a handshake. If you watch NFL mic'd up, Sherm was like, hell of a game. And Mike Crabtree won't have it. He's like, just get out of my face. And then Sherm, I remember Richard Sherman looked at Kaepernick and made the choke sign like he was Reggie Miller and Spike Lee, which, was a sportsmanlike conduct penalty. But yeah, here it is, and there's Malcolm Smith. You can kind of see him a little bit in the right corner of the screen. But the immaculate deflection tip. And of course, we all know what they did to the Denver Broncos. I did a video on that called "The Worst Ass Whooping in Super Bowl History." I did a video on the 2013 Broncos being a missing ring. But as you see, here was their record in the playoffs. They blew out the Saints 23-15, beat the Niners 23-17. All those Pro Bowlers, Sherm, Cam, Max Unger, the center, Sherm, Earl Thomas were all first-team All-Pro. Cam was second-team All-Pro. But what do you think, man? The 2013 Seahawks, the greatest team ever, most all-around team ever? Are they the best team of the decade? Were they the team of the decade in 2010? You can definitely argue that. You can definitely make the case for that being the best team of the decade. If not, who? Comment down below. Subscribe. Help a young brother go on YouTube. And I'll see you all.